This person responded to a comment that I left that said the low is not the problem, the high is the problem. And I want to talk about why. Because in the white blood cell count, the people who I am looking at, their white blood cell count percentage has been off for all of the labs that I have. I have one gal who I looked at labs all the way back to 1997 because that's what she had available. And we looked at every single one, and in every single one, she was 10% off in multiple areas. 10% significant. It was significant enough that in the absolute section, the numbers were flagged, but they weren't flagged in the percentage breakdown of the neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, basophils. If it's flagged in the absolutes, that means it's out of range. This isn't due to age, it isn't due to population density, it isn't due to any of that thing. And on top of that, the percentages have to add up to 100. So the problem is what's high, because it's causing your body to not be able to do the other things it needs to do because it's too high. That thing that is too high is the problem. The absolutes will absolutely vary a little bit within them, but if they get flagged by the lab, that means you failed the exam. And also, if we're considering what they just did for the allowable level of cholesterol, where they dropped it to you can't be above 140, and we know that 70% of the brain is actually cholesterol, and all of your nerves are wrapped in cholesterol, and cholesterol is the backbone for every hormone in your body, and it's what allows you to convert vitamin D from the sun. And they just lowered it from 200 to 140 as an acceptable range, but someone else in the comments put that cholesterol in 1997 medical textbook says 250 is a good number. Are we sure we want to be in these age normals according to current lab data? Because they change. They change over time based on what they're seeing in the population. So if you get a lab in Tennessee, that number of acceptable may be different than the lab in California or the lab in Colorado or the lab in Wisconsin, because the health of the people is different. And I don't want to be normal, because normal people show up to their doctor's office with blood work that's out of range and get told everything's normal in your lab work, you're fine. Your pain can't be real, your autoimmune disease doesn't exist, your mold issue isn't an issue, your mast cell activation doesn't exist. POTS is really just anxiety, you need to get a handle on that. And here, let's give you an antidepressant, and why don't you do some things to de-stress? It's more than that. When we start narrowing down the ranges to optimal function, we start seeing shifts in people's health that are significant in a positive direction. But of course, that's not what some people want, because they need you to be sick so they can make money off you being sick and coming into their hospital, into their doctor's office, into their pharmaceutical realm and buying drugs.